Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. I'm Dennis King. My co-host, Tabetha Odegard, couldn't be with us today. Hope she'll be back next week with us on the show. We do appreciate you joining us each week. We have different organizations and individuals come into our studio to talk about what's going on around the broadcast area. A lot of organizations here do a lot of wonderful work, and the two organizations we're going to talk with here today on the show likewise do exactly that. Stay with us. We'll be back on Connection in just a moment.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison is a Health Mart town. Sam Alexander Pharmacy on the square downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hi, this is Jim Fitzgerald of Community First Bank, and we have a variety of home loan options that are sure to fit your financial needs. From 100% financing rural development loans to VA loans for veterans to FHA loans with low down payment options, your locally owned hometown bank has the right home loan for you. Community First Bank, where it's all about community, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests in the studios today are with us from the Boone County Sheriff's Office, Tim Robertson and Candy Wilson. Thank you so much. Tim, thanks for substituting for the sheriff today.
Absolutely.
I knew he would get you into it. Remember when I saw you the other day, I said, we're going to do a show, and the sheriff's supposed to come in, and you kind of grinned. I think you knew you might come up with something. But we do appreciate you both coming in. Candy, and thank you for sending us the information about a project that you guys got coming up here. And I'd forgotten about you being on the show the first year that you started this project, and this is your third
year.
Third year. And it is called Project Loved One.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about it.
The project started February the 6th of 2013, and what this is, people that have like Alzheimer's, dementia, and even autism, children that have autism, they can come down to the sheriff's office and register with us, and we get a brief medical history and a little bit of background on them and their address, and if for any reason they become lost or wandered away from home, the folks can call us, and we have pictures. We take a front and side profile picture, and we take their fingerprints. And so it quickens our response times in case they do become lost. And last year we held the golf tournament. This will be our third year holding the golf tournament that's coming up April the 27th. We raised money the first year, a little over $5,000. The second year, with the help through the Lions Club here in Harrison, they generously donated $5,000 to us, and we were able to purchase radio equipment to go along with this program. So we went through the training over the last summer, and got all the radio equipment, and it's a tracking device that the people can wear around their wrist or their ankles. And if they become lost, we have their codes in a log at the sheriff's office, and we can punch those into our radio equipment and find them quicker.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Is it like a GPS type thing, Tim?
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
It reminds me like of a dog tracking collar.
Really? Wow. Boy, that's got to be, I hate to say this, but it's a very common thing to see, particularly elderly people that get to the point. And I know through the years, you've been involved in law enforcement for years, Tim, but through the years, they've had people walk away and can't find them, and boy, that's a scary situation.
Absolutely. It does happen. This just gives us a leg up on getting them located. Time is very important in those situations.
I mean, for children or adults, particularly elderly adults.
Absolutely.
When they're out there. Is it a small type device? Or?
It actually is. I actually brought it with us today to show you what the folks wear. It's a band that looks like this.
Kind of hold that up in front
and it has a snap here, and you'd snap it in place. This is the casing that holds the battery and the tracking device. And actually, the cost for these kits is about $300. And we have to change these batteries out every 2 months, and that doesn't include the cost of changing the battery. But the batteries look like this, and then the tracking device itself is like this.
Okay.
And it has the numbers across here that we punch into our radio equipment, and the battery just fits onto the back like this. And then we put both of these into the casing, and then they can wear them, like I said, they can wear them on their wrist like a watch. And most of them, it doesn't bother them there. And then we have some that wear them on their ankles because it's better. When we first started this and got the tracking device in at the end of last year, we had a total of 8 people wearing them. Of course, due to different things, one of them passed away, and then they had to put one gentleman into a home because it just got so severe. So right now we have 5 people wearing the tracking devices, but we have a little over 80 people registered just for Project Loved One itself.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So Tim, okay, so let's say someone's out there and they get lost. How does this intertwine with your equipment? Do you have a monitor thing? Or?
We have a device.
We do.
Okay, you've got it. Well, good. Perfect.
Yeah.
With this equipment here, and like I say, we have 2 of these. We keep them at the sheriff's department, and we can just take this little device here, and of course it has an antenna with it, and if we can get close.
There.
So, that was my question: is what kind of range do you have? How close do you have to be?
Well, actually,
wow, that's pretty sophisticated.
It depends a lot on the terrain.
Does it really?
But good level terrain up to a mile.
Okay.
But
so you could be moving. You mean obviously you could have one of these devices in a patrol car.
Absolutely.
And be moving.
Yes. And then
normally kind of where the origin of the person leaving.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you start there. And
that helps. Yeah. And just we grid that off and go from there.
Wow.
And we have an antenna that actually hooks to it. And whenever we went through the training, we had different drills that we had to go through. And one of them was each one of our team members, the opposite team member, had to go and hide the tracking devices. And one of them happened to be at Clay Maxey's. Me and Captain Smith went there, and we were riding in his patrol unit and had the antennas stuck outside the window, and up on 65 North, just coming around the bend, it was started pinging, and we could hear it. And that was inside of a metal building that it was pinging off. So it's
pretty
really
sensitive. I mean, they pick up pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're right. That could be a lifesaver for people to do. So let me ask you this. Okay, so let's say a family member, let's say if I had my grandfather was in that situation. So would you bring him down there? How do they do that? They bring him to the sheriff's department?
Actually, there's 2 different ways we can do that. We work a lot with independent living, and we come there sometimes and change the batteries there on our clients, or they can come to the sheriff's office and we can register them that way. And if say your dad or grandfather wasn't able to come in, we would come to you, and we could take pictures, and we have the fingerprint kit that we can bring with us and take his fingerprints, and we can change the batteries out there at his home or wherever he's staying at every 2 months. That wouldn't be a problem. We'll work with anybody.
Wow, that's makes it nice on people too.
Yes, sir.
What a great program. I could see where that will continue to grow. Unfortunately, as the numbers continue to grow and get in those situations. But you said you got like 80 registered already.
Yes, sir. I have 80 registered, and right now we only have 5 wearing the bands because the cost is so expensive, and we're trying to do this where the public doesn't have to pay anything. It's cost free.
Sure.
So that's why we hold the golf tournaments, and I try to get whole sponsors and even corporate sponsors to help us with these golf tournaments and raise the money so we can continue to buy these kits and bands for the public.
So about $300 for each one of those.
Yes,
and then plus the battery cost.
Plus the battery cost, yes, sir. The battery cost, I just ordered like 18 batteries, and that was a little over $120.
So just the maintenance part of it going forward is a big deal too.
Right, yes, sir.
Wow.
Our initial cost to get in was about $6,000, but
for that,
it's paid for.
Wow.
So now if we can just keep enough money to replace batteries and hopefully buy more devices as time goes on and as the needs there.
That's good. Sometimes you don't think about law enforcement. You serve and protect is kind of the motto of law enforcement. Well, this is part of the serving process because this is above and beyond what they normally do. in protecting us and taking care of situations out there. But I think that's a great program. I mean, and hopefully people will see this show and get the word out more and get more donations. Obviously, you know, anybody with business or somebody'd like to donate money. Now, is it set up, if somebody donated, let's say $500, is it a tax-free thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They can use it as a tax write-off, and we have like 2 different levels of entryship into like sponsoring us. $100 will get you a whole sponsor,
Okay.
and a corporate sponsor is $500,
Okay.
and that would get your name on our corporate banner on the back of our T-shirts, and a whole sponsor sign, and also entry for 3 two-person teams into the golf tournament.
Okay. Well, let's get in. We got about 4 minutes, so let's talk about the tournament itself. Coming up on April 27th, of course, at the Harrison Country Club.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody wants to sign up, you've got forms here. Can you come by the Sheriff's Department? You go online, or how's the best way?
Yes, sir. You can come by the Sheriff's Office. They can call me at 870-741-2788.
Okay.
I know that Mr. Neal at the Harrison Country Club also has information.
He's got forms, I think.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw some the other day out
Yes,
there
sir.
where you can just go by, and most of the organizations that have tournaments, they keep the forms there, so it's probably a little more easier to go out there and just pick it up, and they can sign up, and it's $150 for a 2-person team, which is $75 a person. That's very reasonable.
Yes, sir.
And for the type of program that it is. You're going to have contests, looks like, a little bit of contests.
We're going to have door prizes, and we're going to give all of our prizes away at the end of the tournament. And we're also raffling off a gun this year.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that.
We've got an AR-15 style 223 semi-automatic.
Mm-hmm.
So the tickets for that, it's $5 a ticket, or 5 for $20.
Okay.
So
now, would they do that? You'll do that the day of the tournament?
The day of the tournament,
Okay.
yes, sir. And we'll draw actually that afternoon once everybody gets done playing and we announce our winners.
Okay, so the winner will know if they won that, and then of course playing the golf is always a fun time. Looks like you're having lunch.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have lunch from 11:30 to 12:30, and then we're gonna tee off at 1 that afternoon. And we try to do it on Mondays so folks can get in that half day of business and then come out and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Sure, that's it. This is a great project. I'm glad to see that it's made it to the 3rd year. I mean, obviously, people come up with ideas on these things sometimes, but they just don't. For some reason, they don't make it, and they put a lot of effort and time. And this has obviously made it. And now you can continue to grow and get more contributions, and hopefully buy more equipment and get more people involved in the thing. So, wonderful program, and I must tell you again that for the Sheriff's Department, law enforcement to take the extra step to make a program like this work. Then there's a lot of people out there that have elderly that may have Alzheimer's and may need the help. So don't forget, even if you don't need the tracking device, go down there or give them a call and let them come and get set up,
right?
So that they've got the fingerprints and the pictures and so forth in case something was to happen. That helps a lot, even if they don't have the tracking device, because you can get the pictures out there in the public's hands and on the website and so forth. So we appreciate you coming in today, Candy. Thanks for your hard work. That's above and beyond for you too, and we appreciate your support there and getting that thing going. And we'll get the word out and make sure that everybody out there, if don't forget about the date, is April 27th. It's a nice golf tournament, 3rd annual. Tee it up for Project Loved One. It's a golf tournament, 2-person scramble, $150 entry fee for 2 people, $75 a person. Goes to a great cause, nonprofit. You can even write it off. So give them a donation or go out there and help them out a little bit. Harrison Country Club will be the location. Thank you both for coming in. Tim, thanks for filling in for Mike Moore today. But it's always good to see you. I've known Tim for a long time, and we appreciate all your help down there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Candy. Thanks, and come back next time and talk to us, okay?
Sure will.
Stay with us. Be back on Connection in a moment. We're going to talk with a couple people from Grandma's house on Connection.
Start spinning, twisting, and pumping into a healthy lifestyle 24 hours a day at the Fitness Club. With all of the best equipment and personal trainers, you're ensured a workout that's fun, effective, and motivating. At the Fitness Club, you can enhance your glow, relax your mind, and refresh your body all in one convenient location. So what are you waiting for? Start spinning, twisting, and pumping your way into a new you today. Enhance your lifestyle and reach your goals at the Fitness Club, Highway 6265 North in Harrison.
Respiratory allergies and other problems of the ear, nose, and throat affect the lives of millions of people each year. It's a broad spectrum of problems that can be improved or even corrected under the care of an ENT, or ear, nose, and throat physician, who specializes in otolaryngology.
All that is green is not infection. All that sneezes is not allergy. To see an otolaryngologist would be the individual to be able to help differentiate between the two.
Many of the patients at Dr. Bell's Family ENT and Sinus Center of Harrison, Arkansas, have come for the proper diagnosis and management of chronic upper respiratory symptoms. The key is knowing that there are other ways besides antibiotics to manage allergies and respiratory problems, options that will help patients breathe easier and feel healthier on a daily basis. For more information, visit narmc.com.
You work hard to take care of your car, so help clean its engine and extend its life with quality gas from Conoco.
In the Branson area, visit these ConocoPhillips White Oak stations, plus Mule Express, Saddlebrook, and the Spirit Shop.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, Tabetha Odegard couldn't be with us this week. We do appreciate you joining us on the show each week as we try to have different organizations and different individuals come in and talk about what they've got going on around the area. And so many of these organizations do so much for the people in this area, and we're proud to have them here and be a part of our Connection show. Our next guest on the show today is Michelle Steiner and Cody Tatum. They've been with us before. They're from Grandma's House. Thank you both for coming in. I'm sorry for the last minute call, but I had another organization that had to move to the next week, and I thought, well, I'll get you guys in because you've got a couple of events coming up and we can talk about it. So Absolutely. We appreciate you. Michelle, why don't you just quickly kind of tell a little bit about Grandma's House, and then we'll get into your fundraising events.
Okay. Well, Grandma's House is a child-friendly place. Everything we do from the inside out is to help the child and the family know that we're here for them. We provide specialized services for children when there's been allegations that something may have happened to them. We provide support and answer questions for the family and help them through the investigation process. We also provide what's called a child forensic interview. We have specialized medical exams that we do for the kids, and we also have an on-site counselor which can do counseling services for the children. So, and we also we work with all the different agencies that are involved in a child abuse case and kind of do a coordinated team approach regarding child abuse investigations.
I hate to ask this question because I think I already know the answer, but is it getting better or worse when it comes to child abuse?
I don't know that it's getting any better or worse. The fact of the matter is, child abuse has always existed. The national statistic is 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused by the time they're 18 years old. And, even here in our small communities, that number is not any different. Mm-hmm. Grandma's House, our primary location is Boone County, but we have a 6-county service area.
Okay. And
we see every year since I've started in between 200 and 250 kids a year for services. So, the good thing is that these kids are getting services and they are getting help. And so from the time, the children and their families come through our doors, being able to see them at the beginning of this process and even just for having them be able to tell is a step in that healing process. And then by the time, they are finished with our counseling and they've received the support services, just being able to see, we can't change the fact of what may have happened to them, but being able to have this something that may have happened to them that they've healed from, that's why we're here.
You think about those numbers that you just mentioned, as you mentioned, 200, 250 a year, but you wonder how many don't make it through the process.
Right, and that even that national statistics, that is the ones that we do know. And and I would say that the number that we don't know far exceed that. Yeah. There's a lot of people, grown people that come through that will disclose to us that they had something happen to them, and either they did tell and they went through the process of what it was like before, and they'll tell us, if this is, we don't want to have had this happen, but since it has, this is the way to go through this process, and they'll either tell us, well, I never told, or this is what happened when I did.
Wow.
So
Wow. Yeah, that's a sad part of it. I assume that with our society these days, you said it's been going on forever, and it has, but has society helped or hurt the process of identifying these individuals, do you think?
I think that, in the generations that we're in now, and it's my personal opinion, that we're talking more openly about things, and this, especially the kids coming up now, they're seeing, where things, it's not necessarily, the generation where this has always been going on and we just don't talk about it. I think the generations that are coming up, they're more willing to say, no, this is happening and this is not right. And
Sure.
so, nationally, there are people who are much smarter than I am that actually have established plans that will help to end child abuse. And so the Children's Advocacy Centers and, being able to provide support and education and counseling for children, that's the beginning part of it, and then, on the back part of it, and most importantly, the education and prevention. Yes. So hopefully we start, stopping those generational things that may be happening.
And we have more agencies too that are involved. I mean, you interact with a lot of different agencies, I know, right. and we probably today, obviously, there's a lot more agencies that have a finger on the pulse, so to speak, of the issue. I would right. think.
Well, even our role within our own community, working, with law enforcement, working with DHS and state police investigators, having the people that are there that, their only job is to talk to kids, making sure that it's not just, another victim, but it's a child victim, and understanding what that means, and the, the unique dynamics that, trying to, gather information from a child and, not re-traumatizing them. That definitely is our role. And then, like you've said, we've got all kinds of organizations that work throughout the whole process. Right. So, while we're kind of on the beginning end, making sure that they're taken care of, not only through the process, but after too.
Yeah. A good example is, Michelle, you just mentioned we just had the Boone County Sheriff's Office in for mm-hmm. another project, and you said that how willing they are to help you and utilize their facilities for training and so on.
Oh, absolutely. We have a wonderful relationship with the Boone County Sheriff's Office and all the other law enforcement agencies that we work with. We're very fortunate and lucky in this area, in our 6-county service area, to have such wonderful people that are so professional and are about the teamwork. The sheriff's office, the police departments, and Department of Human Services and state police, they are all about the kids, and we're just so blessed to have that kind of teamwork in this area.
Something that a lot of people may not realize out in the viewing audience, but when we first got the yellow house, that's Grandma's house, people said, well, that's a cute place, and maybe a little bit about that before we get into the fundraising. You really want it to be as comfortable as possible for these kids.
We're excited about springtime because that's when we get to plant our flowers and things mm-hmm. of that nature. And in the summertime, we have our marigolds, which will grow out there. And whenever it's in the peak season, from the outside of our gates, you start walking through, and the flowers you see, bright yellow and orange, and the butterflies start flying. So, those kids know. And sometimes we get little pictures and things of that nature from the kids that, that shows us that little feedback from them about what Grandma's house means to us. And in our therapy area, we have chalkboards and paper and pencils, and sometimes we'll walk down and see some of those things. Some of the things they write are really sad, and breaks your heart. And then other times we'll walk down and see they've written on their chalkboard, we love Grandma's house. And they'll ask us can I come back and can I stay here? And I wish I'd lived here. So
makes you feel
those
good.
Are neat things. Yeah.
The home environment that you're looking for. Fantastic. You do a wonderful job, and it takes special people, Michelle, like you and Cody and others to do this kind of thing. Okay, let's talk about some a fundraiser coming up, and I'll just either one of you just kick off here. You've got an event coming. Oh, I did want to ask you. It says the fundraisers for Grandma's House and Heart of the Ozarks. Now, what is Heart of the Ozarks? Is that Is that just your part? I mean, is that just
That's no, they're actually a different nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And,
so you are you teaming up on this project a little bit?
The Boone County leadership is actually the one that's hosting the fundraising event. So they actually chose us and Heart of the Ozarks.
Oh, fantastic.
Now, I believe Heart of the Ozarks worked with some disabled kids and things. So I think they're really looking
I just saw that, and I wasn't familiar with.
Right, exactly. But I think they're just they're wanting to help them out as well. Obviously they do great things over there.
Okay.
I think they were wanting to update their kind of play area and stuff. So
the Chamber's leader of the Boone County leadership class, I should say, is kind of helping you with this event, or they picked you guys as part of the.
They came through and they did a tour of a lot of the different organizations in the community. And I believe the Heart of the Ozarks used to be the Boone County Special Services.
Okay, sure.
And they changed their name.
Absolutely,
and
okay.
things
That's
of that
right.
nature.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. Yeah.
So they came through and we provided a tour and everything for them, and along with this fundraiser, they have several different ones that have offered to do things for us, such as they're going to tile our medical room. It's carpeted right now, and they had somebody willing to do that, and I think they're going to work on our playground area and things of that nature. So
okay, so this fundraiser, it's April the 11th, is that correct? At North Arkansas College South Campus, on their new cross-country track that they put in about 3 years ago. Boy, it's a neat track up there, too. It's really pretty. You go kind of take off through the woods and go around. It's up, down. It's not flat because you got uphill, downhill. So it's a good place to have the 5K up there. And it's a run-walk, obviously. Then you got a frisbee disc golf. You're going to do
they're actually going to have a little disc golf tournament afterwards. So that's kind of something that's definitely taken off. So very similar to normal golf. It's just played with frisbees, obviously.
Sure.
Kind of throws it into cages instead of a hole. So
okay. Entry forms, I guess is it? Can you do it online or?
They have a Facebook page, and you can they have pictures of the entry forms, so you can probably go on there and print it.
And the Chamber's got
chamber
forms.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
The Arvest Bank, FedEx, First Federal as well. Also
some other places have forms to.
They're also doing a raffle for Arkansas Razorback football and a grill as well, and those tickets can be purchased at the same places.
At the same place. Okay, it looks like the pre-registration is $20 for the 5K, and the Frisbee golf is $20. Both events $35 if you register ahead of time, obviously. They're going to have T-shirts if you fill out the registration form ahead of time for the event. So neat deal there. So this is good. I mean, it's a good fundraiser. Got a couple minutes. What else? You had the BMW or something.
Well, yeah, actually the BMW Riders Association is actually going to host their national rally here in Harrison.
Oh.
And whether in the area, they always choose a local charity to host. So they're actually going to host Grandma's House. So October 1st through the 4th, the national rally is going to be at the fairgrounds. They're going to go. Obviously, they're providing a lot of routes. The area here is wonderful for riders. So they're going to do a couple fundraisers while they're here, and they're going to kind of help us out at Grandma's House. So we're really excited about that.
That was nice of them to pick you.
Right, that's what we thought too.
And we appreciate them
and
choosing Harrison.
That's a big group.
It is.
My understanding is that's going to be a big group coming into town.
Yeah, and they welcome all motorcycle enthusiasts. So I mean, really encourage everyone to get out there and support them because it should be pretty awesome. So
very good. Well, like I say, the work you do at Grandma's House is just unbelievable, and to both of you and to all the staff there, thank you so much for your services because these kids need you, and it's wonderful to do that. So don't forget, fundraising event coming up for Grandma's House. The first fundraising event is April the 11th. It's a 5K run walk out at North Arkansas College's South Campus, the beautiful cross-country track out there. If you're not into that, how about a little Frisbee golf? They'll have some of that afterwards. You can go out there and sign up for that as well. They have T-shirts. Go online, go to the Chamber of Commerce, the easiest way, and get you a form, fill it out, and if you don't want to, just make a donation to Grandma's House. They'd appreciate it very much. Michelle, thank you so much. Cody, thank you guys for coming in on the last-minute deal. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll get back together soon, and maybe before the BMW event, and talk to you again. Okay?
Sounds great.
Thanks for joining us on Connection today. We hope we gave you some information possibly you didn't know about, and we appreciate all these organizations around the area and all the great work they do for you. See you again next time.